Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will be watching Bianca Badu, I think, sharing her tips on how she learned to love her natural hair. I encourage you to go and watch her full video and show her support.
The first thing that I did was reflect on my childhood. Y'all, when I was growing up, my thick hair was never embraced. And I'm not trying to say that there was someone in particular who made me feel some type of way about it. I don't think that their actions were intentional. But I just feel like women of color with thicker hair, their hair needs to be loved on from youth. Like you need to be encouraged. It needs to be loved on physically, emotionally. In all seriousness, I really do feel that way because we live in a world where society doesn't necessarily approve of black textured hair, thick type 4 textured hair. So I talked about this in my natural hair story a couple videos ago, where I grew up in the 90s when women wore relaxers. We called them perms, but they were technically relaxers, where you would chemically straighten your hair. What's so crazy is it seems like people are circling back to that after years of the whole natural hair community. It seems like women are starting to go back to that relaxed state, which is fine. Like, I'm not here to judge. My hope is that they're prioritizing their hair's health. But what I'm saying is I never got the chance to even get to know my hair enough in order to appreciate it. I think I got my first relaxer when I was like 4 or 5, which is so crazy to me. My son is 5. I cannot imagine how obviously I internalized it because I probably didn't even realize that this was something crazy, but a 5-year-old getting their hair chemically relaxed, that is just so crazy to me. Without anyone saying it, it made me feel like my hair needed to be fixed. And I'm in no way blaming the people who used to relax my hair because it's just what they knew. It's what they experienced. And it was maybe easier for them to manage. But it kind of gave me the idea that my hair always needed to be fixed. It needed to be different. It needed to look different and be a different texture in order for it to be done. And I internalized that, I think, and kind of just took it as this is just what it is. And I used to hear comments like, your hair is so thick. And it's like back then we didn't have the proper natural hair tools. Like, it just was not an innovative time for the natural hair community. I would always get the comments like, your hair is just so thick, as they were trying to detangle it with a small tooth comb. Of course. Like, now looking back, I'm like, yeah, of course you would say that because you're not using the proper comb for my hair. But back then they just didn't know. So it just made me feel a way about my hair.
This is a very important tip that she shares because some people do not really see how the way their hair was done in their childhood by someone, how it was handled, what those who were doing their hair said about it, how the people around you spoke to you as a child mattered because kids absorb things, especially from close ones. If a child hears a stranger say something negative or another classmate say something negative about them, they may get hurt by those words but tend to not believe them and will always go back to what their mother said and listen to them instead. Unless the mothers or guardians dismiss their feelings, then the child will start believing the negative things others are saying. So if the parents speak ill towards the child, if the primary caregivers are not careful of what they speak around the child, that child will internalize that because it is coming from someone who should be their comfort, their safe haven. And so if this person who is supposed to be my comfort says this about my hair, then it must be true. This is why it is so important that we end the cycle of natural hair hate, not just for our own sake, but for the generations that come after us. Think about your daughters and sons, for those of you who have kids. Would you want them to speak to themselves the way you see all these people who hate their hair speak? Think about your nieces or your cousins, whoever's younger than you. Would you want them to grow up thinking that the only way for them to be or feel beautiful is to wear wigs? If you answered yes, then you have a serious mental problem and you need help. But the thing is, we cannot create a future where natural hair is normal if we ourselves do not start appreciating our natural hair for what it is now. I'm sure we have all seen these videos of people putting lace fronts on toddlers. What are we teaching these children? We need to be the ones to end all the negative stereotypes and myths surrounding our coily hair. We can't expect the negativity surrounding our natural hair to disappear unless we do something about it. Another thing I want to add is she mentions how the people who did her hair would complain about her hair being thick and insinuating that it was hard to handle while using a small comb. This is a problem I noticed that still happens even today. You watch videos of women saying, "Oh, my hair's so hard to style or handle" while they are getting ready, and you see how rough they are when they're doing it, and they're not using the right techniques as well. You cannot complain about something not working if you are not doing it right. And that is one of my biggest issues with some people who claim natural hair is hard, is that they are not using the proper tools, they're not using the right products they're not using products correctly, they are not patient when it comes to doing their hair, and they are not focused on getting their techniques right.
I had to recognize that it was going to take time for me to accept it. We live in a world of instant gratification, of everything is just so, and it leaves us impatient. It leaves us wanting everything when we want everything. But to be honest with you, the best things and the things that are worth conquering are those that require time, because you don't want a quick fix. You don't want instant gratification. You don't want a temporary band-aid. You want a solution. You want a lifestyle change. You want to have this mentality for the rest of your life. That's the only way you're going to be able to accept your hair. And then just recognize that you're going to get it. You're going to love your hair. It's just going to take time. You might be in a place right now where you're in a rut. Maybe your twist out didn't turn out okay. Maybe you're not feeling your hairstyle. Your hair didn't dry all the way, so it didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to turn out. Try something different. Try something different.
When people go natural, they expect everything to fall into place immediately. I love that she mentions how we need to make lifestyle changes when it comes to how we handle our hair. Think of it like losing weight. You will not lose all that weight in one day. If you want to lose the weight and keep it off, you will need to think about what choices you are making every day that may be impacting your body and stopping you from losing that weight. So are you drinking your water, eating healthier food, moving your body more? And most importantly, are you patient and consistent? Think of it like that. You just started the journey of embracing your coily hair. Of course, you will not be perfect in your techniques or how you style it or know exactly the products that are good for your hair. But the more you learn and put effort into your hair care, the better things get. You can't do something to your hair for 1 week and then expect it to have grown 6 inches and have healthy hair and know how to style your coily hair. You need to be consistent with your routine in order for you to see significant results. The problem is some of you are giving up immediately after trying one time and failing. Give yourself time to learn.
I had to learn to love my hair in every single state, no matter how it looked for that day. Because if not, I was going to get discouraged and my progress and my perspective on my hair was gonna stop. Like, I'm not a lazy natural, but I'm a low maintenance natural. Like, I don't want to spend too much time on my hair. And that's probably one of the reasons why women give up and go back to relaxers, right? And protective styling. They don't want to spend too much time on their hair. So I'm constantly trying to brainstorm ways to make my experience with my hair and caring for it more low maintenance.
This is something I know that will be difficult for some of you to accept, but it needs to be said. You don't always have to have your hair in a perfect twist out. You don't always have to have your edges laid. You do not always have to have your curls defined. You do not always have to have your hair stretched. Sometimes shrinkage will happen and that's okay. Am I saying that you are not allowed to style your hair however you want? Absolutely not. I encourage you to learn how to style your hair because it will allow you to learn more about it and get used to handling it. What I am saying is you should be okay with your hairstyle not looking exactly how it looked last time. Don't be so upset about it that it ruins your whole day. If I wear my afro out, it will look big in the morning, but as the day goes on, especially when I have been outside, it will start shrinking, and by the end of the day, my afro will look almost half its actual size. And guess what? I do not cry about it. I don't think anything of it other than it was a humid day today. Your hair is fine. Please stop throwing tantrums. And another thing I want to touch on, hopefully I can explain it well, and hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say with this point, is I've noticed how some people expect their bad hair quote unquote bad hair days to go. So they judge it based on how people with straight hair do their hair. So some people are like, well, I also want to just grab my hair and go. You know that's not the case for us. You know our hair doesn't react to those certain types of hairstyle the same way. Some people like, I want to do a messy bun. You know you can't do that with your afro. It's not going to have the effect that you want. So that's what I'm trying to say is stop trying to set your natural hair standards based on what you did when you were relaxed. Yeah, I hope I'm making sense.
Our hair is not always valued. And to be honest with you guys, I went through this period of life where I experienced secondhand embarrassment from people who did not look like me. They would look at my hair like, if you're going through that, I've been there. And you know what? I want to say something, but I'm gonna keep it PG on my YouTube channel. But forget them. Forget them. That's a them problem, not a you problem. Please do not let anybody make you feel any type of way about your hair. You are so beautiful. Your hair is so beautiful.
I wanted to leave you with that message. Ignore what people who are not you have to say about your hair. All you need to focus on is the health of your hair and improve on other hair care practices. And by doing this, you will have beautiful coils on your head, and that is all that matters. I have people commenting on my shorts negative things about my hair, but I pay no attention to it because I know how I feel about my hair. I know the standards I have for my hair. And so whatever standards somebody else is using to judge my hair, I do not care for, and I do not cry myself to sleep because of it. Once you learn to tune out that negativity, your life becomes a breeze. So I hope you enjoy the video, and don't forget to subscribe so you can get more coily hair content, because we want to end 2024 on a high note and start 2025 with a more positive mindset about our natural hair and no victim mentality. Around here, we learn to embrace our natural hair and take care of it.